Hey guys, hope you guys are all doing well, and today is Wednesday. Okay, just had to make sure it's videoing. So today's Wednesday, so happy hump day. You guys have made it halfway through the week of your first online classes on Zoom, and I know Monday, Zoom was having a global problem, so a lot of us couldn't get on. So way to start the week. But here we are at Wednesday, so yay. So yesterday we learned about physical and chemical changes. We also learned that once matter is here on Earth, it is going to stay. But it can change, okay? I don't think that, the banana I ate last week still looks the same, but the molecules that made it up are still present on Earth, just in different ways. So, even though matter changes, it's still always going to be here. Those molecules that made them up are going to be here. Now, the two types of changes again? Yes, physical and chemical. Rule of thumb, a physical change can usually be undone, and it doesn't make a new substance that wasn't there before. But a chemical change usually cannot be undone, and it does make something new that wasn't there before. Okay, so some examples are when your bike rusts. That chemical reaction causes the rust. The rust wasn't there before. Also, we know a chemical change is when your food ripens. Okay, it can't go back to the way it was before. A chemical change is lots of different things, and we're going to keep talking about that today. Now, a physical change is when nothing new is made. Big, huge thing that we need to know is that anything in the water cycle is going to be a physical change. Okay, here's this water right here. I can put it in the freezer and it becomes ice. But was anything new created? No. It's the same water molecules, and as soon as I take it out of the freezer, it's going to melt and go back to the way it was before. So let's remember that for the difference between physical and chemical changes. And we're going to do a little experiment right now. Now, normally, I have a student to help me, and I don't have a student to help me right now. So I'm going to have to do my best. All right? So, let's see. How in the world am I going to do this? Maybe pour some of this on here. This is baking soda. Okay. I'm really missing having students in the classroom right about now. Okay, here's some baking soda I'm putting into a balloon. Baking soda is a common ingredient that you have in your house. You can use it to bake with. A lot of people use it to keep things fresh. You might put some in your refrigerator. Okay, let's get a little bit more. You might put some in your refrigerator to keep your refrigerator fresh and so it doesn't get stinky. All right, sorry guys. Ugh. All right, now I have put some baking soda into this balloon. So you can see the bottom, there's some baking soda. All right, now I am going to mix it into the water. I have a W here for water. Dun, dun, doo, 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 doo. Okay, shake it up a little bit. Well, that was boring. Okay, did I produce anything new that wasn't there before? No, I still have the water and I still have the baking soda. I just mixed them together. Nothing new is made. It's still just two things. It didn't make anything new. Okay? And if I had all the time in the world, guys, could I undo this? Think about it. How could I undo this? Yeah, I could cause maybe the water to evaporate, add some heat, the water would evaporate, and what would be left is the baking soda. So if I had all the time in the world, sure. All right, so this is an example of a physical change. Nothing new is made, still the baking soda and water. There is not a third substance that was made. And it could be undone. I could pour the water out onto a pan and put it out in the sun, add some heat to it, the water would evaporate, and the baking soda would be left. Okay? Whew, now I'm going to have to do this again. Apologize. But putting my baking soda into the balloon again. This time I'm hoping to show you guys a chemical change. Get a little bit more in there. Oh, I've inhaled some baking soda. Yuck. All right. Now, in this, we have vinegar. So I'm going to be adding the vinegar to, or I'm sorry, I'm adding the baking soda to the vinegar. All right. Okay. Now, do you see that third thing being added, a new substance? We had the vinegar, we had the baking soda, but those created a chemical reaction which made a third substance. It made a gas. So now the gas, we can't see gas because the molecules are so far apart, but since I have this balloon, I can see that the gas filled up the balloon. So I was able to make a balloon without having to touch my mouth to the balloon. And how? Because it was a chemical change. I added baking soda to the vinegar. It caused a chemical reaction which made a new substance, the gas that filled up this balloon. Okay? And it can't be undone. If I release this new substance out into the air, it is still there. Okay? It was already made. It can't be undone. Once it's here on Earth, it's here to stay. All right, so we are going to write something in our notes real quick. So if you guys want to go ahead and take out your notes, and let's just jot down a few physical and a few chemical changes. So I'm going to make a T chart, which is just kind of like making a big T. And on one side I have physical changes, and on one side I have chemical changes. Okay? Oh. Are we not here? There we go. All right. So, we're going to keep adding to the list, but some physical changes, remember, are anything in the water cycle. Ice turning to water, water turning to ice, water turning into water vapor turning into water. And we'll do some examples and see that in real life a little bit down the road too. Tearing paper in half. Shaping clay. Okay. And keep this list. We're going to keep adding to it. So just keep it with room to write. We'll add some more later on. And some chemical changes. Well, we just had a chemical change. We just saw that when we added the baking soda to the vinegar, it caused a new substance to blow up the balloon. And before that, you could see the gases forming, bubbles forming, okay? So bubbles forming can be an indication of a chemical change because what are bubbles made of? Gases. Food rotting. And let's get another one. Good old one, rusting. All right. So that is your lesson today on the difference between a physical and chemical change. Remember, once matter is here, matter is pretty much anything. Solids, liquids, and gases. Once it's here on Earth, it is here to stay. But we know it's going to change. It's going to change a lot. I'm sure that 200 years from now, this water bottle isn't going to look the same. But those molecules that make it up will still be on Earth. And the two changes are physical and chemical. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Happy Wednesday.